PR Connections Radio presents. This podcast is brought to you by NVisionU. NVisionU has discovered how to impact spirit, body, and soul with spray technology in just 30 seconds. With NVisionU, you can achieve optimal health and start living the life you have always dreamed of. Use the promo code NVisionU.com/VernDix to take control of your health naturally.
Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on where you're hearing this podcast from. Welcome to my podcast, Prospering in Health and Wealth. My name is Verner Dixon. I'm with VM Enterprise, and I am wanting to have a discussion with you about health, wealth, and wellness, and talk about how they actually interrelate with each other and can create a better environment for you, create a better work environment for you, a life situation for you, particularly if you have your health and you can focus on generating your wealth. And I think we'd have a lot to have conversations about. If you're interested, hang around and get your friends and relatives on board. And so let's get underway. Thank you. Let's go.
We're underway. Everything is awesome, and I hope everybody out there is having an awesome day, and welcome to Prosperity and looking for health and wealth. I really appreciate you being here. And for those of you who are going to be watching this, you can see that I have a guest setting over here on the side. Let me tell you a little bit about him. You can see his name is Kurt Weeks, but I'll let him go through some things in a minute. But I've known Kurt for a little while. We both in the same networking group. Well, actually, a couple of networking groups that we belong to. One is ProNet, which is a very, I call it family-oriented environment because everybody is, loves each other so much, and that's awesome. And also another one called Local Support, which is we just finished a big event at the Ahern Convention Center a week or so ago. And so that went very well. And, Kurt has been in the networking events and talking about his product. And as you'll see, we're talking about mushroom for pets. And I was thinking about, as he was having conversations with people and listening to how he presents the mushrooms. And then I kind of overheard in the conversation, he was talking about humans using mushrooms. And I know I've seen mushrooms in different coffee and different things, but I just didn't connect the two, pet, mushrooms, that kind of a thing. And so I'm understanding that there's an awesome opportunity with these mushrooms to get everybody healthy. But the issue is, I was thinking that based on the way my show is, I talk about health and how to improve health. And then if you don't have the money for the things that you need to improve, help you with finding income to do that. And I said, health. I said, people recognize their pets as family members. If their pet is sick, that's a health issue. That means what I call, based on researching this, a parent of a pet. And that's awesome. So if the pet is sick, the parent's sick. And so we want to make sure that not only is the parents well, but the pet is well. So I talked to Kurt about having this conversation with you folks, because we talked a little bit more about the using mushrooms for people. And so I want to introduce both of those areas. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce you to Kurt Weeks. He's certified in pet nutrition, which is awesome. And the name of his company is called Puppylove247. You guys got it. If you got to check out the website, Puppylove247. That's puppylove247.com. And without further kind of pushing this thing aside and having so much fun as I usually do, I'll let Kurt come to the table. Kurt Weeks, welcome to my show.
Verner, thank you so much for the opportunity to share with your massive group here today, and in recordings into the future. I love where you're coming from around taking care of health and wealth of the families that are out there. And you hit the nail on the head. When the pet parents have a pet that's sick or going through some things, the family's sick, right? And we're there to be able to help. Always seen you as a great guy in the networking, always out there trying to help other people. And I aspire to be more like you in what I do. And this is just a small part of that that's there.
Oh, okay.
So let me share a bit about how I got started with all of this. This all happened with me a little bit more than, or almost 8 years ago now, when my girl Zenta, who was almost 15 at the time, was laying on the vet's table. And the vet came in and said, look, she's old. You can go ahead and put her down. I was like, oh no. And I'm like, so we had some choices. She was on so many medications. She was diagnosed with autoimmune disease. Imagine this. Her eyes were completely clouded over. She was blind. Her fur was coming out of her. She smelled from both ends. She couldn't always control herself, right? I was carrying her out to the bathroom because she couldn't make it out the door because of her arthritis was so bad in her shoulders. Her backbone was infusing together. She had 7 lumps on her, some of them the size of my fist. And the vet said probably some of these were cancerous. And so she was in a bad way. And at one point in time, she actually lost the bottoms of her feet. Imagine losing the bottoms of your feet and trying to walk around.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was all part of the autoimmune disease. And so when we brought her home, we set that appointment, and literally a friend gave me a call and said, hey, have you ever looked at these things called mush puppies? Now, I'm going to regress just a moment. Back 30 plus years ago, this actually came into the United States around a family, and Simon is the gentleman that actually brought all this together in the United States. But his mom was in a facility called Sloan Kettering in New York, if you know it, right? Okay. And they take care of the big C word that's there, and she had it in her lung. They took a portion of her lung, sent her home, said, you're good. The family kind of rallied all together, and as they talked amongst the family, Simon actually got a hold of her nephew, who was a doctor in Japan, and said, hey, we have cancer in the family and that, and he sent this mushroom that they were studying in Japan. Well, mom seemed to be okay, and so they really didn't do anything about it at that point in time. And then she developed the night sweats again. And then here comes the cough again. And she got worse, and she figured she better go back into Sloan Kettering and see what's going on. So she goes back in, they do an x-ray, and what do they find? All through her lungs, all the polyps.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
And she gives a call. And basically what the doctor had said, if we take the polyps, we take your lungs, and you have just a few months to live.
Yeah.
And so put your affairs in order. Stage 4.
Wow.
And so she gives a call to the family, and the family goes, look, you have the mushrooms. We'll send more, start taking those. And so she does, not thinking that there's really going to be anything of it, right? We do these things sometimes, and we don't really expect a whole lot because we've seen this before, right? We've seen these kinds of things before.
Right.
Now,
right.
All of a sudden, her night sweats go away, and she doesn't think anything of it. And then her cough goes away. Well, when hospice calls and says, hey, we need to schedule that appointment, she's going, I feel fine. I don't need hospice. And I probably should make another appointment for Sloan Kettering. So she does. Of course, the way the doctor's offices are, it's going to be another month and a half. So after 4.5 months, right, she goes back into the doctor. They take an x-ray.
Gone.
It's all
amazing. Amazing.
Now, she had documented everything. So that was the first study they did in the United States of that mushroom. And of course, Simon can't keep his mouth shut, right? He's telling everybody that he knows, look what happened to my mom. And report after sharing, after sharing, after sharing, after story, they're getting more and more of this together. And so these gentlemen that are there in Northern California are working with family and friends to be able to build a health network, if you would, to be able to pull people together, very much like you do. And fast forward 27 years, mom is just fine, cancer-free, right?
Awesome. That is incredible.
And their gentlemen are sitting together, and within 2 months, they lost 4 dogs to cancer. And so they're like, look, we have this for humans. Let's look to see if we can do this for pets. And so they looked at a study out of Penn State that actually said that dogs that had cancer would live twice as long on this mushroom. And so they knew that it was okay for dogs. They created this biscuit. My friend Kurt gets the biscuit a few days before I put this out on social media. Now back to Zenta.
Yeah.
We're a couple days away from the injection to put her to sleep. She's going to go over the rainbow. And she can have anything she wants. My friend gives me a call and says, hey, have you ever heard of these things? Never. What my friend didn't know is I was cooking for my dog. I had a medicine cabinet full of a bin of all the empty medicine bottles that she had gone through that the vet sold us to be the solution. And still we were in that spot. Right.
So you were doing a lot of extra work to kind of keep your dog together then.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely. But I was still relying on the big corporations because I was making her food, but I was adding in the foods and treats from the online and the stores and that. I was trying to get the best stuff that was out there, not knowing what was in it, what was creating the problem to begin with, right? I didn't know. I wasn't certified in pet nutrition at that time.
Right.
And so we start giving her the biscuits, 2-3 of these a day. Day 4, she jumps up on the couch next to me. Now, Vernon,
wow.
I'm ecstatic. The dog hasn't been on the couch in years. And I yell to my wife to come into the room. Now, picture this. She's looking at me, the dog's sitting on the couch. The dog's hadn't been doing so good. And she's yelling at me going, why'd you put the dog on the couch?
Well, okay.
I didn't do
it. You're innocent in this one.
At that very instant, my wife and I look at each other and go, could it be? Could it be these little biscuits that are doing this? And we go back in her head. Nope. She's still on all the tramadol. She's still on all the steroids. She's still doing all the food. There's nothing else that's there.
Okay.
And so I give a call to my friend and I said, dogs don't know placebos. Dogs don't know that this was supposed to be good for her. Could this be this? He goes, yes, we've heard some reports like this before. He was being very mild around that.
Yeah. Very low key.
Very low key. 30 days later, my wife looks to me and says, maybe we should start backing Zenta down off of all of her medications because we just took a walk with her for 3 miles and she's swimming at the pond, chasing the ducks around. And I said, look, she hasn't had a pain medication for about a week. And I backed her down off of all the steroid medication. She took the last one yesterday.
Yeah. So with her doing up on the couch, a little bit more energy, going for a walk and that kind of a thing, that's something that hadn't been done for quite a while then before.
No, years.
Okay.
Years. Yeah. She hadn't been on the couch in 2-3 years. And so here's where it moves even faster forward. Now, of course, we feed the best food in our house ever, right? We play a marshmallow game. We take the marshmallows, we throw them to the dog catches them. For Zenta, all the dogs knew that she would get hit in the head with the marshmallow and she would use her nose to find the marshmallow.
Okay.
We throw the marshmallow, she catches it. We're like, wait, can she see? Can she see? And so we're throwing the marshmallow again. She catches it. And we're like, I think she can see. We let her off the leash because she was off leash trained. We let her off the leash and she would walk around the telephone poles again. She could see again.
So she was blind, blind as well.
She was blind.
Oh,
and we're just blown away. So my wife and I are looking at each other and going, look, the dog had autoimmune disease. You have autoimmune disease. Are you thinking the same thing I'm thinking? Okay. And she goes, yes, I am. And I said, great, I'll order more of those biscuits.
Just in case I need to order more to get.
We'll start giving you the biscuits. She says, no, we'll ask for the capsules for humans. And so we started the capsules. Now, give you a little background. My wife was diagnosed with 5 different autoimmune diseases, major diseases, fibromyalgia. She had air hunger where she wouldn't be able to catch her breath. She had brain fog so bad sometimes she would go to the grocery store and forget the car.
Oh, my goodness.
Imagine how scary that is, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
She got to where she would be exhausted and she would be bedridden for 3-5 days, 2-3 months at a time. One time it was 6 months. We were carrying her to the bathroom to go to and take care of her.
Oh my! And based on the videos that I've seen of her and the energy that's being shown, I never would have known that except you telling.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad to announce that she hasn't been on medication for 2 years. She's been medicine free, all of them. And it all started with an autoimmune disease, thyroid disorder, this and that and this and that, and it just progressed. And today we're sharing this story, and I'm so very thankful for what you're doing around health, wellness. It really is about being well, not just healthy, but well. Right. And then wealth are wrapped around it all, because the major corporations, they're selling us a bill of goods, right? They're selling us something that's made. Did you know that 96% of all the dog food online and at the pet stores, even the high-end stuff, whatever, is owned by 3 major organizations, 3 major manufacturers? See if you can find the similarity in this. M&M Mars.
Oh, I didn't even think about them. Okay.
Smuckers.
Okay.
And Nestle.
Okay.
And they all 3, they manufacture most of the food that's in the middle of the grocery store. All the good stuff's on the outside. They make the stuff on the middle.
All the stuff that's in the boxes, the sugar, the salt, the miscellaneous ingredients, and all that stuff.
Isn't that amazing?
Wow. And
they've captured this market so well that these major manufacturers of dog food and treats actually own most of the corporate vets in the United States as well.
So they've got some type of a deal with them, or so. Yeah. Oh my God.
You go into the vet's office, they have a pet food that's there. It's by a major manufacturer. They probably are part of what's going on in that vet's office as well. Yeah. So of course they're going to offer that particular food.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. The number 4 manufacturer of dog food that's out there, it's not even considered a dog food, and it's made by a soap company called Palmolive.
Palmolive, isn't that used to be Colgate? Yeah. Okay. Yes. Oh my goodness. Holy mackerel. I never would have thought anything like that. But, if you think about these big corporations, food and stuff like that, they want to own everything. So if they have an opportunity to earn some significant income from, they're going to buy it and move on and do that.
Yeah.
But it's only about the income that they're generating. They don't care about, obviously, keeping you healthy enough to keep buying stuff, but not healthy enough to cure your issue. So. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's a great way to put it. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, when you're talking about that, the stuff that's out there, when it's like, I started this podcast because my brain fog was cleared and some other things. I had some energy, but I was in a situation where I was taking medication for my stomach that I was getting prescription over here. That didn't work. I get a prescription over here. That didn't work. Stuff over the counter didn't work until I found this BioLimitless company that did these things that worked on the cells and stuff. And so I started taking a microprobiotic product from them, and it cleared up my stomach. My appetite came back. My weight came back. and I started having some energy. And so that's what made me think about even starting this podcast, because I said, there are other people experiencing things like I'm experiencing, and they may not have solutions for their issues. Maybe I can come to the table and bring that. And I think that's where, when I saw you and talked to you about these mushrooms, at first I just couldn't get, he's feeding these things to pets, and people are doing it too. But you're right. Mushrooms are in a lot of things already. And so that was just a coincidence of your dog and the opportunity to have the two ill people in your ill people. See, now you got me calling the puppy people. but that's okay. I know people consider their pets family members. That's part of their family. So
an amazing thing, Verner, is that, and I heard this from somebody that's much, much smarter than I. He said, there's 100% of the prescriptions don't cure anything.
Yeah.
And I thought, wait, it made me really go in to start thinking this around what's going on in our marketplace. And you hit the nail on the head. Here's another place that you hit the nail on the head. So mushrooms are a craze out there now, right? Everybody's got, and the American way is, if one's good, 3's better, 5's better, and 12 is even better than that, right? But what is going on around the mushroom idea is it's a particular strain that gives the most potency, and it's a particular extraction method that gets the goodness out of it. So let me show it to you this way. This is a golf ball, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yes,
How do you get through the golf ball? I mean, you hit it with a club, it doesn't break it.
Right.
You can smack it with a knife, it doesn't break it.
Right.
You literally have
saw.
you have to have a process to be able to get the inside. Now, that's the same thing as the mushroom. The cell wall of the mushroom is as tough as that. And so you need to get a process to be able to get through to get the goodness of it. If you don't get into this, you're just pooping this.
Got it.
Right?
You're not getting the good stuff on the inside because you're not dissolving the outside.
That's it. And there's only like 1% of the world that can actually dissolve in their gut the outside of the mushroom, and those folks are located in Asia.
Wow.
Yeah, we can't. We're incapable of being able to get through it. So with the marketing that's out there, everybody will go, God, we get some fruiting body of this mushroom or that mushroom or whatever. And I'm sure folks are sitting there on the edge of their seat going, what mushroom is he using?
Yeah.
Right. They maybe even have guessed some of them. But the majority, I would say 99 point whatever percent that's out there right now is not going to be as effective as what the ancients have found in Asia. And we got the ability to have that here in the United States. And we got an extraction method that does exactly this for you. So it breaks it down for you.
Okay.
Absolutely amazing how that, instead of having a prescription or a copyright around a prescription, changes the way that we're able to be treated, because the immune system is what is going to fix the body. The mushroom doesn't.
The mushroom doesn't. Okay. I mean, it's like the Puppylove247. The company that's around that, they have this process that they create the chips or the cookie, whatever to deal with that. So is that the reason that they became in existence, or is there other things that they were doing and then this was included?
Yeah. So around our family, we kid around with this all the time. We say we're people tested and animal approved. This started out with the people first, and the people that Simon and Simon's mom knew, and then the other co-founders that were there, they were working with people first, and then they found out how good it was for pets, and they incorporated the pets in there. Now we can share more around helping animals right, than I can around helping people because of the way that the rules and regulations are set up by the pharmaceutical companies.
Right.
I'm limited on what I can say. We all are, right?
Yeah. And I think when I was putting this information together, I was also cognizant or trying to be aware that I'm talking about a pet product here, and I just can't write in this as an introduction to what we're trying to do that it's also for humans. I have to include the family and then how does the family stay healthy from that perspective as well. So yeah, you're right. I don't know. It just didn't seem like the legal entities would allow that to happen without some clarification. So anyway,
so here's a mind shift that ended up happening for me when we went through all of this, right? I would never go into the pantry and take a scoop of dog food and put it in my mouth.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. We've thought and we've been trained for many, many years that is secondary food. That is trash food. Now, if it's true that they're members of our family and mine are, you can see the cat sitting right up here. She's watching your podcast.
Is that right there on the pillow?
Yeah, that's her right there. If they're members of our family, then shouldn't they eat the same way that we do?
Yeah.
And so if it's not human grade food made in human grade kitchens with human quality food, and those are the keys, processed at a lower temperature so that they don't lose their structural integrity and break down into something that's more harmful, they're processed in the way that we would cook in our own home.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna cook my goulash or my taco meat or anything else. I'm not going to cook that at 400 and 500 degrees. It's going to burn it.
Right.
I'm going to cook it at 200 degrees. It's going to be gentle. It's going to be cooked for a while to get the goodness out of it.
Yeah.
And so we've eaten these biscuits. I've eaten the dog food. We have a freeze-dried fruit. It literally tastes like chicken stew. I just put a little salt in it and it's wonderful.
Okay.
But shouldn't our family members eat the same way that we do? And
because you're trying to take care of yourself, you want to make sure that the rest of the entities of your family are healthy as well. So regardless of what you have to do to keep them healthy. Well, I mean, this is awesome in terms of those folks who consider their pets family members. I know everybody doesn't, but there's enough people out there that just loves their pet. Is to death, right? Is the right word. They just loves their pet and want to make sure that those dogs and cats, rabbits and whatever are the healthiest as possible. I got one of my grandkids just got two. What did she get? 2 guinea pigs. That's what she got, 2 guinea pigs. And so I've been thinking about, helping to provide something that was healthy for those 2 little guinea pigs. And so we got new family members that needs to help. But I'm appreciative of this company and what you do in particular, because you've been so passionate about your pets. And you've been so passionate about what you do. And so that's significant. And I saw that. And that's why I wanted to share that interest, that enthusiasm, and that love of the other family members. And I wanted that to be shared as well. And I just want to make sure that I'm helping to introduce information to people where they can be healthy, not only them, but their other family members as well, and ways that they can earn income too. By the way, is there a way for people to get involved here as an example, and maybe they can use the products and maybe earn a couple of dollars as well?
They absolutely can. It's a simple thing. So a lot of folks will start out and they just want to pay for their own food. They just want to pay for their own treats. And so they may share it with a family member, a friend, and that sort of stuff. They're going to earn, 15 to 20% based around what they all order. Okay. And then it grows beyond that. And the next thing they know, they're picking up, hey, let's go out to dinner because I got this extra that came in, and I got this. And in today's day and age, for us to say extra there's a lot of folks that are hurting, right?
Yeah.
So what if you could treat yourself with something that you've done, and you've done it because it was the right thing to do. You shared a solution for folks that are out there. And today we have folks that are out there that are replacing their income. It's not any kind of get rich quick, that sort of stuff, but you would sign up as a brand advocate. You would do that and pay the $14.99. You would have your own website. You would have your own link that's there. So when somebody orders it, they order it directly through you. And I'm going to ask that anybody that orders through the PuppyLove247 site, there will be a place on there that says, how did I hear about this? And I'm going to make a request that they make sure to put on your podcast in that description, Verner, and make sure that is there so that you can get the credit wrapped around those things, because you're sharing the good news of all of that.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. But let people know how they can get in touch with you, because we're about at the end of our show today.
Love it. So you can go right to puppylove247.com. And you can see the site right from there and explore the site. It's designated by dogs, cats, horses, and people. I kid around all the time that I only take care of the nicest people. And that would be you, sir. The other way that they can get a hold of me is at Kurt, K-U-R-T, at puppylove247.com. And that's going to be an email address. And if they need assistance with something as far as food and problems with food and that sort of stuff, glad to answer those emails. I'm glad to be able to take care of those things. Just please let me know that you heard about it on this podcast.
All righty. Thank you so much. And so for the rest of you out there, hey, I love bringing this information to you, but our day has to end sometime. And I know there's a lot more information, but reach out to Kurt, reach out to me. Whatever we can do to help you and your family members would be greatly appreciated. So like I always say, hey, stay out there and be blessed, and let you know also that the best is yet to come. Have a blessed one. Thank you. Thank you, Kurt. I really appreciate you being here. Be blessed.
Appreciate you.
PR Connections Radio thanks you for watching this podcast. Check out more episodes of this show and our others at prconnectionsradio.com.